Do you remember Ben Matlock and the team that helped him crack case after case? They always found the truth before it was too late. Yet behind the scenes, many of its stars found themselves facing addiction, life-threatening diseases, financial hardships far from the courtroom. Today, we're uncovering what really happened to the Matlock cast, and some of these stories may shock you. Clarence Gilliard Jr. as Conrad McMasters. Conrad McMasters, the resourceful private investigator who became one of Ben Matlock's most trusted allies, was portrayed by Clarence Gilliard Jr. Born December 24, 1955, in Moses Lake, Washington, Gilliard was 34 years old when he joined Matlock in 1989. His charisma, intelligence, and easy chemistry with Andy Griffith quickly made Conrad one of the most popular characters on the series. Clarence Gilliard Jr. passed away on November 28, 2022, at the age of 66 after battling a long-term illness. He had already secured his place in television and film history through memorable roles in Top Gun, Die Hard, and the hit series Walker, Texas Ranger. His passing was deeply felt by fans, colleagues, and students alike. In his later years, Gilliard chose a very different path from many Hollywood stars. Rather than chasing fame, he dedicated himself to education and became a respected professor of film and theater at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Even while struggling with serious health issues, he remained committed to teaching and mentoring young artists, continuing to work with students for as long as his condition allowed. That dedication became one of the defining achievements of his life. Beyond his success on screen, Gilliard helped inspire a new generation of filmmakers and actors through his work in higher education. Surrounded by his wife Elena and his family until the end, he left behind a legacy built not only on entertainment, but also on service, mentorship, and generosity. Andy Griffith as Ben Matlock. Ben Matlock, the legendary defense attorney known for outsmarting prosecutors and uncovering the truth at the last possible moment, was portrayed by Andy Griffith. Born June 1, 1926, in Mount Airy, North Carolina, Griffith was 60 years old when Matlock premiered in 1986. Despite his folksy appearance, Ben was a relentless courtroom strategist who rarely lost a case. He brought warmth, intelligence, and quiet authority to the role that would define the final chapter of his remarkable career. Andy Griffith passed away on July 3, 2012, at the age of 86, after suffering a heart attack at his home in Manteo, North Carolina. By the time of his death, he had become one of the most respected figures in American entertainment, having earned Emmy recognition, a Tony nomination, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2005. His passing marked the end of a career that had influenced generations of television viewers. Behind the scenes, Griffith faced serious health challenges during his later years. He battled Guillain-Barré syndrome, a neurological disorder that left him temporarily unable to walk, and later underwent heart surgery in 2000. As his health gradually declined, he stepped away from acting and spent more time living quietly with his third wife, Cindy Knight, away from the spotlight he had known for decades. Yet Griffith's legacy never faded. Beyond Matlock, his work in The Andy Griffith Show and A Face in the Crowd showcased both his comedic talent and dramatic depth. Even years after his passing, he remains one of the most beloved and recognizable figures in American television history. Nancy Stafford as Michelle Thomas. Michelle Thomas, the talented and elegant attorney who worked alongside Ben Matlock on many of his toughest cases, was portrayed by Nancy Stafford. Born June 5, 1954, in Wilton Manors, Florida, Stafford was 32 years old when she joined Matlock in 1986. Rarely intimidated by opposing counsel, Michelle brought poise, determination, and legal expertise to the firm's most challenging battles. Her intelligence, confidence, and natural chemistry with the cast helped make Michelle one of the show's most memorable roles. As of 2026, Nancy Stafford is 72 years old and continues to enjoy a peaceful and fulfilling life. While no longer active in mainstream Hollywood at the level she once was, she occasionally appears in independent films and faith-based projects. She remains well known not only for Matlock, but also for roles in Saint Elsewhere and Sidekicks. Unlike many performers in the entertainment industry, Stafford has largely avoided scandal and public controversy. Instead, she devoted much of her life to writing, public speaking, and Christian ministry. Over the years, she openly discussed the challenges of aging in Hollywood, where opportunities for older actresses often become increasingly limited. Even so, Stafford found stability through faith and family. Married to Pastor Larry Myers since 1989, she has enjoyed one of the entertainment industry's most enduring marriages. Alongside her acting career, she built a respected reputation as an author and inspirational speaker, proving that success can continue long after the spotlight begins to fade. David Froman as Lieutenant Bob Brooks. Lieutenant Bob Brooks, the police lieutenant who regularly assisted Ben Matlock with criminal investigations and evidence gathering, was portrayed by David Froman. Born October 31, 1938, in Miami, Oklahoma, Froman was 48 years old when Matlock premiered in 1986. Unlike many law enforcement officers who doubted Matlock's methods, Brooks often trusted his instincts and worked closely with him. His steady performance and no-nonsense approach made him a familiar face throughout the series. David Froman passed away on February 8, 2010, at the age of 71 after battling lymphoma. He also gained recognition for playing the villainous Gunther on the long-running soap opera The Edge of Night. His death marked the end of a career that spanned both television and education. In his later years, Froman chose a quieter life away from Hollywood. He returned to his hometown in Oklahoma and devoted himself to teaching theater at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College. While his battle with lymphoma became increasingly difficult, he remained deeply committed to his students and continued sharing his passion for acting whenever possible. That commitment to education became one of his greatest accomplishments. Beyond Matlock, his work on The Edge of Night and years of mentoring young performers left a lasting impact on countless students. Even after his passing, Froman is remembered not only as a talented character actor, but also as a dedicated teacher who gave back to his community. Julie Samars as Julie March. Julie March, the determined prosecutor who regularly challenged Ben Matlock in high-stakes criminal cases, was portrayed by Julie Samars. Born April 15, 1940, in Fremont, Nebraska, Summers was 47 years old when she joined Matlock in 1987. Whether arguing before a jury or negotiating behind the scenes, Julie was known for her confidence, intelligence, and refusal to back down. Her strong performances and natural rapport with Andy Griffith helped make Julie March one of the show's most memorable recurring roles. As of 2026, Julie Samars is 86 years old and living a quiet retirement away from the entertainment industry. She also earned widespread recognition for her role in The Governor and J.J., which brought her a Golden Globe nomination. Following the end of Matlock, she gradually stepped away from acting and chose to focus on family life and community involvement. Unlike many performers, Samars has maintained an extremely private and peaceful life. In addition to Matlock, her work in The Governor and J.J. and The Rockford Files helped establish her as a familiar face on American television for decades. Supported by her husband Stuart Bell, whom she married in 1984, she continues to enjoy a stable and enduring family life more than 40 years later. However, age has brought the health challenges common to many seniors, including mobility and joint-related difficulties. As a result, she has largely avoided public appearances and media attention in recent years. Warren Frost as Billy Lewis. Billy Lewis, Ben Matlock's longtime friend and occasional rival whose appearances brought humor and warmth to the series, was portrayed by Warren Frost. Born June 5, 1925, in Vermont, Frost was 65 years old when he joined Matlock in 1991. His natural charm and decades of acting experience made Billy a memorable addition to the show's later seasons. Warren Frost passed away on February 17, 2017, at the age of 91 after a lengthy illness. Although Matlock fans remember him fondly as Billy Lewis, he was best known worldwide for portraying Dr. Will Hayward in Twin Peaks. His death came only months before the highly anticipated Twin Peaks revival premiered, making his final appearance in the series especially meaningful to longtime fans. Throughout his later years, Frost remained deeply devoted to both family and acting. Even as his health declined, he continued working whenever possible and pushed through physical discomfort to return for the 2017 Twin Peaks revival. Surrounded by his wife Virginia and their children, he spent his final years living quietly in Vermont after a lifetime dedicated to the arts. That dedication became his lasting legacy. Beyond Matlock and Twin Peaks, his appearances in Seinfeld and numerous television dramas earned him the respect of generations of viewers. He also took pride in seeing his children succeed in the entertainment industry, particularly his son, Mark Frost, who co-created Twin Peaks. Today, Warren Frost is remembered as a dependable character actor whose career spanned more than 6 decades. Keen Holiday as Tyler Hudson. Tyler Hudson, Ben Matlock's loyal investigator and trusted assistant during the early seasons of the series, was portrayed by Keen Holiday. Born June 25, 1950, in Copiague, New York, Holiday was 37 years old when he joined Matlock in 1986. His charm, humor, and investigative skills helped make Tyler one of the show's most popular supporting characters. As of 2026, Keen Holiday is 76 years old and living a much quieter life than during his television career. While acting opportunities have become increasingly limited with age, he remains respected by longtime fans of classic television. Behind the scenes, however, Holiday faced a devastating battle with addiction. During his time on Matlock, he struggled with serious alcohol and substance abuse problems that eventually led to his departure from the series in 1991. The loss of the role triggered years of personal and financial hardship, leaving both his career and personal life in crisis. Fortunately, Holiday was able to rebuild his life. After successfully overcoming addiction, he found renewed purpose through faith, theater work, audiobook narration, and community outreach programs. Alongside his success on Matlock and Carter Country, his recovery journey became one of his greatest achievements. Today, supported by his wife Linda Copling, he enjoys a peaceful life and serves as an example of resilience, redemption, and second chances. Bryn Thayer as Leanne McIntyre. Leanne McIntyre, Ben Matlock's talented daughter and fellow attorney, was portrayed by Bryn Thayer. Born October 4, 1949 in North Dallas, Texas, Thayer was 42 years old when she joined Matlock in 1991. Her intelligence, confidence, and strong courtroom presence helped make Leanne one of the show's most respected supporting characters. As of 2026, Bryn Thayer is 76 years old and living a quieter life after decades in television. She earned a Daytime Emmy nomination for her work on One Life to Live and later built a successful career across both daytime and primetime television. Like many actresses of her generation, Thayer faced the difficult reality of fewer opportunities as she grew older. The lack of substantial roles for older women in Hollywood brought periods of disappointment and uncertainty, leading her to gradually step away from the spotlight. Rather than allowing frustration to define her later years, she focused her energy on more meaningful pursuits. One of her proudest accomplishments became co-founding the non-profit organization Zach's Shack, which helps individuals and families facing hardship. Alongside her work in Matlock and One Life to Live, her commitment to charitable causes added another dimension to her legacy. Today, she enjoys a stable and fulfilling life in Los Angeles, balancing family, community service, and retirement while maintaining the grace that made her a familiar face on television for decades. Annetta Corsaut as Judge. Cynthia Justin. Judge. Cynthia Justin, the courtroom judge who presided over many of Ben Matlock's legal battles, was portrayed by Annetta Corsott. Born November 3, 1933, in Hutchinson, Kansas, Corsott was 54 years old when she appeared on the series in 1987. Rarely rattled by heated arguments, she handled difficult cases with patience, confidence, and common sense. Known for her intelligence and professionalism on screen, she brought authority and warmth to every role she played. Annetta Corsott passed away on November 6, 1995, at the age of 62 after battling colon cancer. During that time, she became widely recognized for starring alongside Steve McQueen in The Blob and for playing Helen Crump on The Andy Griffith Show. Her death came only months after Matlock aired its final episode, bringing an end to a career that spanned nearly 4 decades. Corsott never married and never had children, so she devoted most of her life to acting, education, and community activities. In her final years, however, she faced an increasingly difficult battle with cancer. The disease progressed rapidly, forcing her to undergo exhausting treatments that ultimately ended her acting career. Even so, her work in The Blob and The Andy Griffith Show made her a familiar face to generations of viewers. Remembered for her kindness, professionalism, and dedication to her craft, she remains one of television's most respected character actresses. Don Knotts as Les Calhoun. Les Calhoun, Ben Matlock's eccentric and often troublesome neighbor, who provided some of the show's funniest moments, was portrayed by Don Knotts. Born July 21, 1924, in Morgantown, West Virginia, Knotts was 64 years old when he first appeared on Matlock in 1988. By then, he was already a television legend, beloved for his unmatched comedic timing and decades of success in American entertainment. Don Knotts passed away on February 24, 2006, at the age of 81 due to complications from lung cancer. He was also widely loved for playing Ralph Furley on Three's Company, cementing his place among television's greatest comedians. He also became famous worldwide as Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show, a role that earned him 5 Emmy Awards. The final years of Knotts' life were marked by serious health struggles. He suffered from severe age-related macular degeneration, which gradually robbed him of much of his vision and made reading scripts increasingly difficult. As his eyesight declined, he was also forced to battle lung cancer, a painful illness that weakened him physically, but never completely diminished his passion for performing. Even in the face of illness, Knotts refused to give up the work he loved. Shortly before his death, he provided voice work for Chicken Little, proving his dedication to entertaining audiences until the very end. Surrounded by his wife Francie Yarborough and longtime friend Andy Griffith during his final days, he left behind a comedy legacy that continues to influence performers and make audiences laugh decades later. Daniel Roebuck as Cliff Lewis. Cliff Lewis, the enthusiastic young attorney who became one of Ben Matlock's protégés during the later seasons of the series, was portrayed by Daniel Roebuck. Born March 4, 1963, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Roebuck was 24 years old when he first appeared on Matlock in 1987. His energy, humor, and likable personality helped make Cliff a fan favorite among the show's younger characters. As of 2026, Daniel Roebuck is 63 years old and continues to enjoy a successful and active career in entertainment. In recent years, he has expanded his work into directing and producing independent films, particularly projects centered on faith and family values. He became known for roles in The Fugitive, Final Destination, and Lost. However, he has faced challenges common to independent filmmakers. Financing projects outside the major Hollywood studio system often requires significant personal investment and constant fundraising efforts. Balancing those responsibilities with family life has created pressures that differ greatly from traditional acting work. Nevertheless, Roebuck continues to thrive. Alongside his acting career, he has built a respected reputation as a filmmaker and producer committed to meaningful storytelling. Supported by his wife Tammy Roebuck, whom he married in 2015, He remains one of the hardest-working character actors of his generation while continuing to develop new creative projects well into his 60s. Jason Wingreen as Judge Arthur Beaumont. Judge Arthur Beaumont, the veteran courtroom judge who oversaw many of Ben Matlock's most challenging cases, was portrayed by Jason Wingreen. Born October 9, 1920, in Brooklyn, New York, Wingreen was 67 years old when he first appeared on the series in 1987. Even the most heated courtroom disputes rarely shook Arthur's calm, disciplined approach to justice. His commanding voice and authoritative demeanor made him a natural fit for judicial roles throughout his long career. Jason Wingreen passed away on December 25, 2015, at the age of 95. While Matlock fans remember him as Judge Beaumont, he was known worldwide as the original voice of Boba Fett in The Empire Strikes Back. He also earned recognition for his role as Harry McGowan on All in the Family, becoming a familiar face to television audiences for decades. After retiring from acting in the 1990s, Wingreen embraced a much quieter life. The greatest loss of his later years came when his wife Harriet passed away in 1996, leaving him to spend his remaining years surrounded by his children and grandchildren. As he entered his 90s, declining health and the challenges of advanced age gradually limited his activities and kept him largely at home. Even so, Wingreen remained proud of the career he had built. Beyond Matlock, his contributions to Star Wars and All in the Family ensured his place in television and film history. Known for his kindness toward fans and his willingness to respond to letters well into retirement, he left behind a legacy of professionalism, longevity, and dedication that lasted nearly a century. James McEachin as Lieutenant Frank Daniels. Lieutenant Frank Daniels, the police lieutenant who assisted Ben Matlock during several of his earliest criminal investigations, was portrayed by James McEachin. Born May 20, 1930 in Rennert, North Carolina, McEachin was 56 years old when he appeared on the series in 1986. Whether gathering evidence or questioning suspects, Frank was known for his calm and methodical approach. Though his role was relatively brief, his experience and commanding screen presence made him a memorable part of Matlock's first season. As of 2026, James McEachin is 96 years old and remains one of the oldest surviving members of the Matlock cast. In recent years, the challenges of advanced age have naturally become the defining reality of his daily life. Like many people approaching their centenary, McEachin has experienced significant physical decline and increasing dependence on family members and medical support. As a result, he stepped away from public appearances, writing, and professional activities long ago. Even so, his legacy extends far beyond acting. Alongside his television and film career, McEachin became a respected author and military veteran whose life embodied resilience, service, and perseverance. Long before appearing on the show, he built a respected career through projects such as Tenafly and Play Misty for Me. He is also widely admired for his service as a decorated Korean War veteran, earning the Purple Heart for wounds sustained during combat. Supported by his wife Lois Innes for more than 6 decades, he now enjoys a peaceful and private life in California, remembered as both a talented performer and a living witness to an extraordinary chapter of American history. Kari Lizer as Cassie Phillips. Cassie Phillips, the energetic young law student who assisted Ben Matlock during the show's early seasons, was portrayed by Kari Lizer. Born August 26, 1961 in California, Lizer was 25 years old when Matlock premiered in 1986. Her youthful enthusiasm and quick wit helped make Cassie a memorable part of the show's original cast. As of 2026, Kari Lizer is 64 years old and remains an influential figure in television, though primarily behind the scenes. In recent years, she has spoken about the frustrations many television creators face as streaming platforms reshape the business and make it increasingly difficult to launch traditional network-style comedies. Despite her professional success, Lizer has faced significant personal and creative challenges. Following her divorce from actor Robert Romanus, she raised 3 children while balancing the demanding realities of the entertainment industry. Nevertheless, Lizer is still best known as the creator of the new adventures of Old Christine. While her acting career included Matlock and other television appearances, she achieved far greater success as a writer and producer. Alongside creating the new adventures of Old Christine, she built a respected career as a screenwriter, producer, and author. Rather than stepping away from the industry, she has adapted to changing times while continuing to write, develop projects, and share her experiences with new generations of storytellers. Lucille Meredith as Judge Irene Sawyer. Judge Irene Sawyer, the courtroom judge who presided over several of Ben Matlock's legal cases, was portrayed by Lucille Meredith. Born Lucille Goldsmith on May 8, 1916, in Elyria, Ohio, Meredith was around 70 years old when she appeared on Matlock during the late 1980s. Rarely raising her voice, Irene kept even the most heated trials under control through calm confidence and sound judgment. Her experience and natural authority helped bring authenticity to the courtroom scenes that became a hallmark of the series. Lucille Meredith passed away on May 1, 2004, in Los Angeles, California, just 1 week before her 88th birthday. Throughout her long career, she appeared in numerous television and film productions, including They Live and Banning. She built a reputation as a dependable character actress whose performances added depth and realism to every project she joined. Because her career was stable, Meredith lived a largely private and family-centered life. She spent most of her years in California after being raised in Los Angeles and remained devoted to her husband, screenwriter Roland Kibbe. The couple shared a long marriage and raised 3 children together before Roland's death in 1984, a loss that deeply affected her later years. Even after personal loss, Meredith continued working and remained connected to the entertainment industry she loved. Alongside her appearances in Matlock and They Live, she became part of a generation of hard-working character actors who quietly helped shape American television and film. Though often overlooked compared to bigger stars, her decades of dedication left behind a legacy of professionalism, perseverance, and quiet excellence. So that's the cast of Matlock then and now in 2026. Over the decades, some stars enjoyed long and successful lives, while others faced illness, personal struggles, and heartbreaking losses. Which Matlock cast member surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more then and now updates.